All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Gorilla Biscuits. $5. Thank you. Good father. Good day. God bless. Yeah. Thank you, Crispy. Like and share and subscribe. All right. Like I said, just a few announcements. Entrance of Theotokos tomorrow morning. For those of you on the old calendar, um, may you have a blessed liturgy if you can go. For those on the new calendar, your St. Nicholas Day is Tuesday. Is that correct? No, tomorrow's St. Nicholas Day for you guys, right? Ours is the 19th. Again, I'll put, please join the Patristic Faith Telegram channel so you can get updates on prayers, events. We have exciting news about Montanica. We did get another speaker. We're looking forward to putting up all some announcements shortly. Kind of usually what we do, save the date. That's June 4th to June 7th. It's always the week after Pentecost. We have possibly 2 hierarchs coming for our hierarchical guests. Great theme, orthodoxy in nature. Was it this Saturday? I have no, since I'm not in the new calendar anymore, I have no idea when St. Nicholas Day is on the new calendar. Those of you in the chat, new calendar, when is St. Nicholas Day? Or I could just look it up. Oh, yeah, it's this Saturday. You are correct. 19th for us. 16th if you're new calendar. 6 if you're this Saturday, the new calendar. Oh, let's see. So may it be blessed. Um, what are other announcements I'm supposed to be making? Sign up for the courses. I'm gonna open the deal back up because people from the conference, uh, there was a group of people that are interested in signing back up. You can purchase those courses and take them whenever you can, but you the deal won't always be open. So there's payment plans. I say sign up. I say it. Other things. What I think that covers as far as announcements. For those of you in Montana, um, oh, we had a nice St. Paisios Brotherhood thing last night with Father Ephraim from our monastery talking to the men. That was good. Montana representing. Montana is going to be the hub of Orthodoxy in America. You don't know this, but I mean, it is amazing what's going on here. And we want to give a shout out to everybody in the Bitterroot Valley and the new mission parish established under our Serbian diocese there. We also want to give a shout out to Sandpoint, Idaho, which is under Father Russell, our dean. And with the new priest, new mission parish there in Sandpoint with Father Laurent. So great things are happening. Let's see, Helena, we're having Vespers this Saturday evening. Liturgy Sunday morning. So for those of you at Holy Trinity in Butte, I won't be down there. I'll be serving with Father Paul here in Helena. We have our annual caroling through Clancy and the former president of Carroll College, Dr. Seck, loves us. He'll be hosting us, and we'll be going through spreading orthodoxy and the gospel through hymns through our little town up the road in the mountains, Clancy. So pray for us that may be a good witness to the Roman Catholics, i.e., the former president, his wife, and then just the whole community there too. Um, but Montana will be the hub. There might be small hubs, but Montana Orthodoxy in America is starting out of Montana. We have the monastery. We have the largest expanse of land, least people, but not so remote that it's something like Alaska. And we've got amazing priests here. So we've got, I mean, there's no other state that has it, that has the monastery with the growth per capita, the amazing priests, and the Montanica Conference, right? So what's emerging and through Father Russell and his mission. So I know you might love your states, guys, but like nothing compares to Montana. I'm just going to state it. Now you can take our template and take it into your state, but it's going to start here. Yeah, pray for St. Peter's. Pray for all the men coming up too. Construction, we're in winter now, so construction is halted until spring. And then there's probably 6 to 9 months of construction before the cells are capable of being moved into. I don't know if, I think there might be some housing and stuff that people are kind of staying attached to our parish, Holy Trinity, who are getting ready to become novices, but they're not monks yet, but like they're part of the community. So pray for all of them. Edo Tolkien 999, for someone looking to be orthodox and compelled to learn the history of philosophy, theology, what would you advise studying first? Plus, we don't have to, in Montana, we don't have any Mormons, Jews, or Muslims to worry about. Like other states. Like it's ripe for the harvest. It's just predominantly Catholics and Protestants up here. Does it depend on the paradigm of the person coming from? You know what? Do you remember this site? Orthodox Christian? No, not Orthodox. Orthodox Info? It always does. The answer is always, it depends. Why does it stand with Ukraine on the... Stand with the fake gay CIA elite sponsored Western Banana Republic, guys. Schismatic. Nazi battalion. Can you believe that people even put that? May Ukraine be destroyed and no longer with as few lives lost as possible. Like, I have no sympathy for like a stupid nation, Ukraine. Doesn't make me pro Russia. I don't know, whatever it takes. Oh, pro NATO. I forgot to throw that in there too. I don't care who it is. They dissolve that nation. Stupid banana republic. If you look on here, orthodoxinfo.com, see it has like different things given for Protestants, evangelicals, Roman Catholics, charismatic, right? And then, so let's say for all Protestants, things that kind of address recommended books that kind of probably address certain issues for Roman Catholics. A lot of good stuff there. Generally speaking, as far as come on, Jay, dude. Jay's doing well. We could just throw the open debate comes soon. All right, let's see if he's going on. What time? But I'm going to give you some book recommendations. Just say I just want to look at. Always the case with Jay. It says right now, and it's not right now. Jada! Where is it? That reminder. Okay, so what we can do, throw this on the mic when it comes up. All right, let me give you some book recommendations real quick. My book recommendations. Still there? Hello? Yeah. Jay's funny with time. Like, it's always later on Jay time. Okay, Tolkien. Let me just share this with you real quick. This is what we put. As far as we put this on our Discord. Read St. Athanasius on the Incarnation, St. Vincent Lorenz, St. Justin Popovich. Definitely, part of my paper was from here on St. Isaac the Syrian's theory of knowledge from Orthodox Faith and Life in Christ, St. Irenaeus, St. Germanus, St. John Maximovich, again, St. Justin Popovich, Justine Popovich. St. Metropolitan Hilarion has Orthodox Christianity 3 volumes. Let's see. Obviously, the New Testament, the canons of the Second Ecumenical Council. So you have a whole kind of like list here of the way that you could proceed as you get into more complicated, more advanced theology. So I think that's a good kind of approach. Also, as far as the history of philosophy, obviously Copplestone is probably one of the best. Did we also put up there Pelican? Yeah, there. Jarsal Pelican. So there it is. There's your kind of foundations. Also, what I would say too, starting off, start reading the lives of the saints, maybe from the Synaxarion or something like that. Get to know, right? So it's not just all intellectual. You're getting to know like the very life of the church. So that's my recommendation. Good question. All right, I'm reading your chats. Wow. DPH, which is also an anagram for PhD. DPH PhD did a 4-hour stream yesterday. Recapping, yeah. So stop with also Father Peter did a good thing last night too. Ito Tolkien 499 Jay used to reference the Church Fathers book set, but I haven't found one that seems complete with all the what's the name of the one? Just blanked. The Shaft set. That's yeah, it's gonna cost you some money, but I mean, if you're just inquiring, like slow down a little bit, like just start with some of those basics I said. When you go further into Orthodox, like yeah, maybe invest in the Shaft set. But it's like, for example, somebody just beginning to ski or something like that, or get into a sport. Like, are you gonna get like $3,000 skis and bindings and eight $1,000 boots? And it's like, no, you get the entry level, right? Like, you don't need to. When you get better, it's like the same thing with music too. When I first picked up mandolin about 3 years ago, I picked up a cheaper mandolin, um, and I'm like, if I get better, then I'll invest in a better mandolin, and that's what I did. This last year, I bought Eastman, and if I get better and better, I'll invest more. That's the way you do. Yeah, Cleve had Father Paul on. Um, one thing I can say from seeing everybody's comments and what's going on, people are so full of fear. Yeah, I remember my first time I went on a double black. But it's in my DNA. You got like a Norwegian. So I remember the first time I skied. I was probably 6th grade, 12. Surprised it took me that long. Um, let's see. I ski on blizzards. Let's see how much. We went to Blizzard Bonafide 97. I think I have the 2024s. How much are they? Probably like 900, I think. But I got them cheaper. Oh, powder 7. All right. Oh, anyways, fear. So everybody's freaking out. I can feel, it's palpable, the fear about uh the EP and Pope Leo and the two other patriarchs. It's like, oh, there's gonna be it's like, fear not. Um, and I think Father Peter did a good job kind of talking about. Yeah, I have people writing me all the time. What happens if this? What do I do? You know, the saints tell us, and probably like that there'll be a remnant. Like, there's going to be patriots that don't fall. We have 14. Clearly, Russia's not going to go along with it. I doubt Georgia. Um, like, everybody gets so freaked out. All of this could just be fluff, too. We're told there will be a schism at some point. Like, why is everybody free? Like, did you not know this was going to happen? Why are you losing sleep over it? God wins. The church becomes stronger. Yeah, it was so Constantinople, Jerusalem, and Alexandria. Um, Antioch did not, thank God, but you know, there's CIA pressure on Antioch. Like I said, the CIA and State Department control Al Qaeda. Notice they could put pressure on Antioch and Syria right away and get them to fold if they wanted. So don't be so naive, but like, I'm in Antioch, and that would never. It's like, thank God they haven't. We never know, but it's like there is that you have to watch. Like, you can't say never. This will never happen. So it's 3 of the 14: Alexandria, Jerusalem, and Constantinople. But it's just, especially the Zoomers, man, the Doomers, they're so easily blackpilled. Somebody had asked in Father Peter's chat, yeah, it's like, I'm pessimist. It's like, we're not. I'm optimistic. Glory to God. Like, quit being so weak. Like, man up and believe and trust in God. Like, things are great. The church will flourish. Look what's happening in Montana. I mean, there's so many. It's so easy to complain and look at the negative things of life. We're Eucharistic beings. We give about the world and the church. Somebody was like, I'm pessimistic about the church. And Father's like, I'm not. And when he said that, I'm like, I'm not either. I don't lose. I don't like what's going on. right? But the church will flourish. We're optimistic, but there's great things. You can focus on all the negative stuff, and then you're not a Eucharistic being. And it's just so whiny. Like, oh, look at this. Look at the world. I don't. It's just, right? Doesn't it kind of annoy you? Like, I'm like, quit whining. Man up, do your job, build the kingdom, give thanks to the Lord, and you'll be at peace. Like, don't live in fear. Like, it's just, forgive me for the lack of patience. Maybe the fact is these people haven't gone through enough suffering. Maybe you need to go through some extreme suffering and come, find God there and realize it doesn't matter if I'm in hell. Like, the Lord is with me and He's good. He allowed this to happen, and speaking of, yeah, there's a guy that was going off on Father Sebastian. These goobers, man. Help me understand this, the psychology of Father Sebastian puts up St. Mark as better for our bodies to be enslaved to the Turks than for our spirit to be enslaved to a heretical pope. So this goober, Jonathan Grobler, sorry. Unity over division. It's all these stupid, it's like the leftists, right? These platitudes that's like, well, equality, unity, inclusivity, um, what's another? Equity, humbleness, guys. Notice how it doesn't pay to. So, unity over division. So, unite with a bunch of fags? Like, truth doesn't matter. Unite with immorality because division's bad, guys. And if you don't, you're not obviously humble, you see. Pearl clutching faggotry right here. May the East and West unite one day for. It's just. I feel like I have to vomit in my mouth every time I read something like this. Father Sebastian says there is no union possible with truth and error. The items that separate us cannot just trivially be. That's exactly what's happening. When Rome formally recants of its errors, and this Jonathan Grobler, what a fortunate name. And the Orthodox do the same for the sake of the faith. The Orthodox are not in error. Yeah, exactly. The divisions within same Reddit tier. Oh, look at that KGB puppet. There's no divisions in the. We all believe the same thing. We practice the same thing. Oh, you mean administrative schism currently that's happened even under Rome, um, between Constantinople and Moscow? Old calendars are not part of the Orthodox Church. Oh, but Eastern Catholics is where it's at. Because they're not prideful guys, you see. What a pharisaical virtue signaling. We have unity. Schismatics and heretics are not part of the church. You know, if your local Baptist church puts Orthodox Church on Orthodox Baptist Church, that doesn't make it. Do you think, can you imagine somebody this retarded actually votes and drives a car, goes to work? Oh, as if there's unity in. So you can commemorate heretics in the Roman Catholic Church. You can have totally bizarro spiritual practices and erotic feminine hysteria, like different orders, different practices, different theology, different creeds. You can worship with Muslims and Jews. You have, what, 28 different rites? Like, that's unity. I mean, what pure faggotry. Like, I can't stand it. You failed to answer one of my grievances. Must I go to Russian or Rukor? New calendar. Oh. It's all the same, you moron. Why can't they get this? What is going on in their heart and soul and mind that they can't? Oh, this person. I go unite with the Muslims, exactly. Log off. You're embarrassing yourself. Help me understand a person like this. Guys, please. I don't get it. How do you get this way? I look at the Orthodox, it's perfectly united. We have an administrative schism between two. That's not uncommon. Those things are healed. We just had one healed recently. Same theology, same practice, same synodality, same faith. What is he talking about? No unity. Unchanged. Roman Catholicism constantly changing. Its dogmas contradicting itself. I just don't understand this day and age, given everything that's going on. They have Eucharistic ministers. So they criticize because they ordained in Alexandria and he got flack for this and it was wrong. But I'm not under Alexandria. They can't understand a decentral. They cannot understand our ecclesiology. You know what I'm starting to think? Roman Catholicism is like Islam. Right? It's for low IQ people. It's just like, well, let's just make it simple. Like, there's just one supreme office, right? Because you can't understand how something could be one in different other. Like, do you see what I mean? It's like, is their brains just incapable of like comprehending how something can be united? One, but decentralized in different jurisdictions? Administratively, like, I mean, and like, talk about a Talmudic pharisaical. It's a religion for Talmudic autists. You're complaining about what happened, and it was a problem. What happened in Alexandria with the. Yet, you have Eucharistic ministers that are doing more than. You basically have deacons without. It's the same thing with, like, well, it's not a divorce, it's an annulment. It's not a deacon. It's a Eucharistic minister. It's like you guys are a bunch of Talmudists, like Talmudic lawyering. Like this is ridiculous. Like stop gaslighting us. We can see what you do. Well, now we're celebrating LGBTQ stuff at the Vatican and stuff. Well, it wasn't a formal ex cathedra. It's like just shut up. Like, are you kidding me? Do I look like an idiot? Like, stop it. I can't believe it. I just help me understand. Like, is it is it just a cult mentality? Is it they're retarded and they can't think? Like, is it a demonic possession? Maybe it's all three. Like, I just don't know how you get to the point of looking at the Roman Catholic Church and be like, well, you know what the problem is? It's the Orthodox. We're fine over here. We're not contradicting ourselves in the church. Well, it doesn't matter if the church doesn't look anything like the first millennium. I heard McKee's argument and St. Peter. Like, that's all. Like, do you see what I mean? It's just like, it's so stupid. We all worship the same God, Muslims, Jew. You can't convert Muslims and Jew. Like, are you kidding me? And you're asking about contraception? We don't promote contraception. Like, all of it's just straw man, lies, gaslighting, anything to distract you from what the Vatican and papacy is. It's like everybody can see what's going on. Like, you, God help you. Oh, here we go. We got a schismatic in. What is the J Dyer? You're not in a church. You're in a cult. You invented. So everybody in the OCA and ROCOR are ecumenists. Every single one of. What an idiot. Who's worse? Roman Catholics or the schismatic old calendarists? I don't even think you guys are real. I think there's literally like two people and you're on a computer and you have bots that you send over to my. Jay's still not 30 minutes in. Yeah, good point, holy moly. I don't believe it. I don't believe they're real. Do you know what the schismatics are like? The Muslims do the same thing. They spam. Actually, Roman Catholics do too. They just spam people's chats with the same typed out like it's the same thing. Total cult, man. Like you should. They can't reason. They've got these patent answers that are like questions that they just like the trad cats. It's a script. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. I feel good, man. We got methylene blue, and I thought maybe it was a placebo. It's actually really good. I first tried it at the conference. Jay Dyer got me hooked on it. Ooh. Nobody ever says they want to get on methylene blue when they grow up. My thoughts are so much clearer. I have energy. I might give me like an Alex Jones commercial. Oh, I'm super excited this Friday. Scott, if you're in the chat, get to hang out with Scott from Zootown, the former Zootown pastor. Love that guy. Who's coming into the Ortho. We made him a catechumen last year sometime. I can't remember, but looking forward to that. There's so much great things to be thankful for. Methylene Blue, the courses, my students. I'm really thankful for my students. Let's give thanks. I'm thankful for you guys. See, I'm switching we're doing highs and lows like the Supra. Okay? I went on my rant on the Goblin Goobers, Boomer, Tard, Schismatic, Papist. Okay? That's low. We're going high. I'm giving Thanksgiving to you. I'm thankful for you guys and thank you for my wife. I'm thankful that we have snow. I'm thankful for Montana. I'm thankful for the monastery. I'm thankful for the priests here and just everything going on. Like I said, thankful for my students. Dave's been great. Everybody on the canvas as well. I've had really great students at Carroll as well this semester. I'm thankful for my boss and his the chair of philosophy and his support of everything that I do. I'm thankful for the president of the former president of Carroll College and his support of Orthodoxy, even though he's Roman Catholic. And my work here at the college and throughout Montana, Ecclesially. And let's see. I'm thankful that our local ski resort is now opened. I haven't skied yet. I'm thankful for my recovery in my foot. I'm thankful for the Florida conference and everybody there. I'm thankful for all the volunteers and help and everybody who helps me at Montanica. I couldn't do it without you. Thankful for my cats. Love them. I'm thankful for what they're doing at St. Paisia's Brotherhood. Let's see. I'm even thankful that Jay is late so that we can have more time to talk. Stop on this. Vigo, correct. They're Donatus. I mean, look at all the books behind me, right? Every one of them has something true in it. I haven't found a book yet where I'm like, here's something that's 100% false. Every single. And if it were, I wouldn't be on my bookshelf, probably. So, yeah, ecumenism's bad. But you can't create. You can't do something evil and wrong in virtue of something being bad. Two wrongs don't make a church. Turn bad, okay. Yeah. All right, let's see if there's any more super chats. Did we ever get an answer to how does somebody like this Roman Catholic, like, how do you become like that? Nobody ever says they want to grow up when they're a child to be like that, right? Isn't it interesting that the gospel is about the little children? There's no way somebody's born that way. So how do they become that? What happened in this person's life to make them like this group of people? Not all Roman Catholics are like this, by the way. Like I said, I work with some really good Roman Catholics. By the way, what was really funny is Tuesday, of course, I always run into the chair of theology. In the faculty lounge when we're getting coffee and stuff like that before class, and he was just like, of course, the thing with the EP and the Pope was like, what do you think about? And I'm like, well, I don't think it's. We had an interesting conversation about that. I'm like, look, I'd love for all this stuff to be the theology to be hammered out too fast. You can't just wave your hand and be like, oh, it's all fixed now. We have I told him, I'm like, there's 1,000 years of stuff that needs to be hammered out. Like, you think doing a service together and lifting anathemas is gonna like fix that? He actually was very responsive too. Like, he was like, he understood. Okay. By the way, can I say something? I enjoy oh, it's on. Here we go. I enjoy South Park. The last 2 seasons, awful. I can't like. They've always kind of verged like bordered on like some blasphemous stuff too, but like these last are like it's just not even good comedy. Here we go. Ready?
The church. They would have taught extra ecclesiam nulla salus, like Cantate Dominus, out of the Council of Florence. So the irony is that the Council of Florence was one of Roman Catholicism's strongest statements about the necessity of being in communion with the Roman bishop to be saved. Cantate Domino is the name of the document at Florence that says that. And yet, the new Florence is premised on there not being one true church, but you must still be in the Roman Catholic Church because the Pope is now the head of all the world religions. That's the insidious, crazy level insanity of Vatican II. And that is why Vatican II doesn't just teach that theologically. It teaches it politically. What? Yes. The Fabian socialist teaching of Gaudium et Spes perfectly lines up with the geopolitical agenda of ecumenism. So I've been writing articles saying for so many years that ecumenism is not just a theological blindness, a lack of discernment, a lack of having an orthodox phronema, a lack of having nepsis. It is also a geopolitical agenda, and that's what hardly anyone can fathom in this sphere. A lot of our people get it. And I'll be on with Cleve's Antiquity this week, by the way. We're going to do a stream just on the geopolitical implications of the ecumenist movement. But what's amazing is that some of the Roman Catholics themselves have written some of the best material on this. You've heard me say it for a million times, and here's the 1,000,001th time. John Courtney Murray, Time Life Magazine, The American Proposition, the CIA's Doctrine Warfare Program that changed the Catholic Church.
Like, there's
this is a crucial element.
Problems with most jurisdictions.
Understanding ecumenism of Vatican II. That's why you cannot understand what's happening with the EP in Rome.
We're talking about ecumenism right now. Why don't you come on and make your case? None of us are saying ecumenism isn't a problem and that there isn't some of this in the jurisdictions. So you're non-denominational because there's people who have problems in the church, like what a retarded. It's this weird Protestant puritanical. So you're outside the ark of salvation because you found some bad people in the church. There was never a point in time anywhere in history of the church, think about that, in which there wasn't some type of problem or heresy. And so you separate yourself from the ark of salvation. So I'm not, thank God I'm not like, I've purified and I'm in my mind in a cult in your head where you think you've worked out all your first of all, I guarantee you I could go through stuff that you believe and find at least materially you holding a heresy. Let me on, Jay. Where did it just go off? Total autistic, prideful, pharisaical. Hold on, let me go back. Start listening. Request. Oh, Jay, unmute. Can you imagine being proud to have that kind of autistic, pharisaical mindset? Oh, thank God I've created a theologically purified Dungeons and Dragons game in my mind. And I'm not contaminated by looking at. Yeah, X-Space has been really finicky lately. Jay! Dyer! Jay! I'm glad he's doing the stream right now. Sure, just want to thank you for coming on down to the X-Space. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna put this on mute. I'm gonna go into the Jade. Can you guys hear the X-Space? Is it me? Or is it X?
Of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
I have a question. How do we determine what the percentage and gradation of communion actually is, right? So, we're going to say the Muslims are in 20% communion with the Roman See. The Orthodox are in 80% communion.
I got an idea.
Communion with the Roman See. The Orthodox are in 80% communion with the Roman. How do you determine the percentage, right? What's the actual algorithm? Maybe we get Cameron from Cucking Christianity to come on here and give us the Bayesian model for how you determine the actual percentage. By the way, there are enough spurgs in this domain that they will actually try to figure out a moral calculus.
Yep, I told you, like the guy we have in our chat.
How you know the percentage of what communion they're in with us. That's how silly these people are. Now, in the first 1,000 years of Christianity, as we just said, where is there any notion of percentages and gradations of communion? You're either in communion or you're out. Now, yeah, there's schisms amongst the patriarchates, but how does that translate into Francis's Fratelli Tutti, where he gives prayers for non-denominational Christians and prayers that Unitarians can do? Remember that? He wrote an encyclical where he was like, oh, by the way, if you're a Unitarian, you can pray this prayer with us. if you're a non-denominational Christian, you can pray this prayer. It's safe. It won't hurt your conscience in all of the things that you reject. So this whole idea of being 20% Christian, 80% Christian, 30% Orthodox.
By the way, that's a
50%,
Protestant
70,
mindset
90%.
too.
It's
Like,
all
well, I believe
nonsense.
80%.
And I can prove
Can you
it by
imagine
the
asking
fact
Jesus,
that
"Can I be
Satis
20%
cognitum
heretic
and
and
mystici
still
corporis,
be saved?"
And there's one more from Pius XII, I forget the name of it, but they teach very clearly that if you reject one dogma, you're out of the church.
Yeah, here
That's
you
the
go.
classical Roman Catholic ecclesial model. That's Cantate Domino from Florence. If you're out of communion with the Bishop of Rome,
Cantate
you're not
Domino
saved.
Pizza, the
Do
most
we need to read
famous
this again
encyclical.
to see how vastly different the ecclesiology of Florence is from Vatican II and Francis and Leo and John Paul II? I mean, it's famous, right? Cantate Domino. I'm not going to read the Reddit one because he's making it up. He's reading off of Reddit. Okay, here you go. The most holy Roman
Look
Church
how
believes,
Jay
professes,
wears
and
his
preaches that
glasses.
none of those outside of it, not only pagans, but Jews and heretics and schismatics. Well, to be a Jew, to be a heretic and a
Let's look
schismatic
at-
requires some degree of self-conscious knowledge. We're going to bring Tim up, our good buddy, in a second. We'll go to Tim and then we'll go to FDA and others. But I'm bringing up Cantate Domino just to
FDA.
point out
That's
the fact
me.
that heretics and schismatics are classically seen as not part of the body. Now, when we get to this new ecclesiology, which is what we would reject,
Troll count 10,
but
16,
what
25.
Leo and
Bingo.
Bartholomew agree to. The idea is now that everybody's just sort of accidentally in communion with like we're all accidentally in communion. Like you can actually be like Scientologists perhaps, and maybe 20% in communion. So
How's
it's
the
no
audio? Is it
longer the
okay?
older model of in or out. It's gradations, and we're seeking for levels.
can't even
of union.
find-
Now, I'm inviting Tim to come chat. We're not going to have a debate. I just want Tim to come on and
I
chat
can't even
about
find where.
some of the insights that he's had. I want to get his
What
take
happens,
on
Deacon,
this
when you
push
have
for
too
this
many
union.
tabs up.
I want to get his take on some of the things
where?
happening in the Catholic apologetics world, particularly, again, this real struggle, and this happens in the Orthodox world too, by the way, between proper
yeah,
male-female
too many
relationships and the push to get women in the religious world
But the
on some
volume's
sort of,
okay?
like, equal footing with the men.
Great.
Now, remember, this is happening again in
Yeah, the
Orthodoxy
glasses
and
are up on
Catholicism,
the-
that there's a push to study the role. of the
31. What's the
deaconess,
matter with you
and
people?
Maybe we need to revive.
Not you in the chat. What you mean? You people.
This missing, forgotten role of the deaconess, and then, as we all know, that's the slippery slope that then prepares the way for. Well, if we
Is
got
everybody
a
in Jay's
deaconess,
chat?
we have a
You know, you
female
can come on
priest.
to
Well, if we
mine
have a female
and
priest,
enjoy
this
Jay's
is
as
the
well.
slippery slope.
This
that
obviously won't
the
apply to you in the chat, but
Episcopal Anglican
so who am I
group
talking to?
took. They went down this route. So I want to get some of Tim's takes on that. And then first and foremost, one of the things that Tim really hit me to that I thought was a great, people in the chat are saying to ask Tim about shameless popery. We are going to, don't worry. I want to ask him about, he said, Peronism. I said, what's Peronism? Well, it's the perfect description of this
Tim
sort of
Gordon, man, you're in
bureaucracy.
the chat. You can come
that
on.
both the EP
Oh, you can't hear me.
and the Vatican do to soften people
Good,
up
I'm
and
not
sort of
on the-
go forward or walk it back. Tim, could you explain Peronism and what exactly that bureaucratic model is? Then we'll get into some of your takes on some of these other issues. And also want to tell everybody that Tim will be doing a stream, I think today, responding to some of the positions out there that he's going to refute.
Yo, what's up, Jay?
Hey, man.
Thanks for inviting me on. How are you doing?
Doing great.
So,
How are they getting?
You there,
I don't understand how.
Tim? Tim, where you at? Tim, come back. We lost you.
No, we had it.
We were almost in full communion. Tim, we're in 30% communion. Come back. I think maybe he had a bad connection. Let's see.
It
Let's
went
try
out
him
again.
again. You sounded good, dude. Come back. Let's try again.
Tim has been on a tear now. Look at this. He's responded to Lila Rose.
Connection issues. So we'll see what.
He's responding to Joel Heschmeyer today.
A little bit more of Bartholomew. And,
Don't die on me, Tim. This is good stuff. There's a lot of people in this audience that I think will listen to your stream. They want to hear your take on this stuff.
We got the delay.
Tim's not here, by the way, to debate.
Oh shoot! I just realized. Forgive me.
Maybe he may be having a mic connection issues. So we'll see what.
I realized I had. Forgive me. You're probably getting double sound. I turned my speaker down, not realizing you're gonna still hear it from the. I gotta change the. Mute it on Jay's. So forgive me. What is going on?
Therefore, must be sought through prayer.
All right, turn this back up.
Is not merely the fruit of human effort, but is a gift from God. Peace, therefore, must be sought through prayer, penance, contemplation, and nurturing a living relationship with the Lord, who helps us to discern what words, gestures, and actions to undertake so that we can generally be at the service of peace. A further challenge facing our churches is the threatening ecological crisis.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, here we
So
go.
we had an audio issue. Tim's back.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, I wanted to explain about Juan Perón, the namesake of Peronism.
So how is
something that the Catholics got sadly accustomed to during the reign of Francis. He was a huge devotee, demagogue from the late 20th century.
So on my end,
Right
so notice
when he needed
Tim
to,
speaking
posed
here
as left wing when he needed
on
to, and
X.
one of
So
the
he's coming through X
foremost
on
modern
Jay's
authors
end,
of
but why not
weaponized
my end?
ambiguity.
And other
You talking
people
about
on
the
here.
president of Argentina?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, do you know he was involved in the Gladio stuff, and then he was inducted into?
But it's interesting. Anyway, like that's where Francis got this usage. He habituated the strong usage, the main mechanism of his papacy of weaponized ambiguity, where you float something out there that both sides, like Juan Perón, the left and the right, can use, and it creates Hegelian arguments. But you can take something that is fixed and clear and crystallized, like Catholic doctrine on, say, whatever, female deacons, and through weaponized ambiguity, you can keep it alive, which is what Francis did. And I would note that in the Leo pontificate, the primary reason I think he was elected is not only to push stuff like the reunion effort, but because Americans are like over 33% of the donors to Peter's Pence. And of course, Pope Francis was really, really, really unpopular in America.
Mm-hmm.
Secular and Protestant conservatives really disliked him, obviously. And so they wanted to float this guy that would continue Francis's program. Of course, I'm a faithful Roman Catholic. I don't think Francis's program destroyed the church or anything like that. It's just bad modern leadership. But he's continuing the program, continuing the Peronist project of using weaponized ambiguity, and now you're seeing the mask drop more starting around September, whereas he'd been kind of heralded as the new American guy who's more conservative than Francis because they're trying to get that fundulation back.
Yeah, it almost looks like he might be making some steps to equal himself to Francis, or maybe even go beyond in terms of some of the left agendas that he's tended to kind of give credence to. What do you think about that?
Creed.
Yeah, I think that's plausible. I think that could be plausible. When you look at, I mean, I was one of the only guys in the Catholic world that was saying personnel as policy. I was looking at Austin Ivory, the Pope's private biographer. During the conclave, I was looking at Cardinal Maradiaga, who was Pope Francis's closest collaborator in the C9, in the cardinalate. I was looking at Father James Martin, SJ. They were all wildly for Cardinal Prevost, and who hadn't even been on my radar as papabile up to the conclave, and they were all just wildly for him. So I said, this is trouble. And
I love
Catholics
how
jumped on my case.
Christians in the
And
chat, my mods
it's
are in
coming
Jay's
out to be
chat
true.
too.
But I think he could be as bad, or maybe a Phantom Menace episode 1 throwback, even worse, because he's ostensibly better.
Are you an angel?
Anakin.
That's yeah. Jamie. Every time we watch that, Jamie and I crack up at some of the stupid lines from Anakin. But so I wanted
It's a good movie otherwise, though.
yeah. No, there's some fun parts to it for sure. I wanted to ask you about in the Catholic and Orthodox world, as I mentioned, we have this push for the raising of the feminine, so-called, to equal the masculine, and we know that all the stuff to do with deaconesses and the idea of female priests
We were just talking about this.
is tied intimately into the notion of feminism, and that men need to be put in their place by women. They need to be shut down. They need to be quiet. And I think that you took issue with some of what Joel Heschmeyer has said. Would you want to comment on that? I think you're doing a stream on that, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, respond later. I was saying I debated. I told you, you and I were both saying I'm kind of sick of debates, but it's easy.
You there?
So
Something's
he's gonna get
going
problems.
on,
I was
bro.
surprised it was going so well from
We
their
heard Tim
end.
good for like the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes. We only had you for 10 minutes. All right, let's try. Yeah, usually coming out, coming back in works. Let's see if that works.
Frank has a question.
Yeah, I
It
mean-
says the Father.
I saw
In
a
English,
few
it's a
clips of,
throwaway word.
Joe, is it Joe or Joel?
But
I can't
Scripture
remember. I was
actually
not very
calls
impressed with,
Abraham
Alex
father,
Soren,
the
whatever his
apostles'
name was.
father. It also says not to
Jay,
call anybody
Jay,
the
what's
teacher.
going on?
Yeah, I think-
So
I
you're
think it's actually
ignoring, there's only
excellent,
one
to be honest.
the Father.
Yeah, I always have some trouble with spaces. Anyway, yeah, Joe Heschmeyer.
So that's
a
the,
Catholic
obviously,
anthropologist. They've
this
been
is why I
debating
understand. I'm like, I don't think
6
Protestants
years
can,
on
like,
the
have you
feminism
not
of
read
election since I
elsewhere in the
crushed
Bible it
Trenborn
actually
in
calls people
a
father?
Christian or a Catholic be
So
feminist
clearly
debate,
you have to be like,
in
well, it can't
2019.
mean never use the
And,
word father. It
they're
must
just
mean something
trying
different.
to
Also, it
limit
doesn't
his
seem that
hangout. After all the-
Protestants can
Well, I'll say this, Jay, this is something that's cool that you collaborated with us on.
understand context. Like, do you not know? Did you not read the rest of the verse, like before and after what was going on? They were teaching they were basically treating their rabbis, their teachers, as in place of God, as the Father, the teacher. So it says the, it doesn't say never use the word father. I mean, you're trolling, right? Like, this can't actually be real. Like, either you've never read the Bible, because then you'd know, but, well, it uses father. Father Abraham, Timothy calls Paul father, and the apostles call each other father. Yeah, can't you, like, I don't think it's real. I think, okay, so you just didn't know the Bible, right? Somebody told you that. You don't just read that and just be like, oh, I can never use. I'm super serious right now. It says the Father. There's only one the Father. But it reminds me of people like in Discord, where they ask these philosophical questions. It's like, how do we answer? What do we? And I'm like, why don't you figure out, like, I think you can figure that out, right? It can't mean, I mean, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're intelligent enough. Notice the So why is man and God contrasted? Who gave us the Bible? It's literally written by men. So you're refuted. But answer the question. It says the Father. Do you not know the definite article? I'm really giving you the benefit that I don't think you're that stupid. Like, I really think that you know. Okay. So, well, not his like it's not his literal words. You think God like is it an Islamic text? That it was dictated like by an angel like to Muhammad? No. We don't have the dialect. It's either man or God. It's a anthropomorphic institution text. Well, just Frank, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Try to make it work, because obviously it can't. It's so retarded to think that you should never use the word father that like it obviously must mean something else. So I'll let you use your brain and be like, clearly that can't mean that. And the other thing too is like, so everybody uses this term, teacher, father, and like in the church. So scripture like is obviously so clear, and that nobody got it for. I mean, you don't even start getting this till like the 1700s. I mean, don't you kind of find that weird? If it's written right, first of all, the apostles have divine authority. So if they're calling each other father, they're addressing each other. They have the divine, infallible authority to do something like that. So you got to take it up with Christ. Like if you have a problem using the word father, he gave the apostles the authority, right? And then they wrote it as authoritative, divinely authoritative. So I would say, of course, God gave Abraham and the apostles the title father. And he had men write that. Pretty easy, isn't it? It's just unbelievable. Like, I really just can't believe that somebody actually believes this. Oh, it just takes us, well, it just took 1700 years. Everybody was wrong for 1700. Yeah, it's a very Mormonish. Everybody just was using the wrong word. But now I've got my magic modern glasses that I can read the text, and obviously I just know that's what it means. Everybody else was wrong, and I'm right because I've got the magic glasses. You can see that that's, and I know it's retarded that I can't call my dad father or a teacher in class teacher. What? Why would you be right about, and all the church fathers, right? All the saints, everybody, they're all wrong. And notice with Protestant, there's no understanding. It was like, well, it says it. But why? Why, like, do you really think God doesn't want you to use the word teacher and father? They can never answer these questions. Why is it that they said what they said? It's the same with iconography and idolatry. Like, why did they say it? Okay, then the Bible. Then you can't trust the Bible because nobody's perfect. And I didn't say if somebody was infallible. I said, were they correct? They're all wrong and you're correct. Like, you see how stupid that is, right? I didn't say perfect. I didn't say that. I'm talking about, so quit moving the question. You can't answer, what is it about the word father that's so demonically possessed and teacher that you can't use that? Well, just says it. That's what it says. The Bible says what it means. It says. And I'm right about this and everybody else is wrong. That's what I'm pointing out. Oh, so you have a modernist. Oh, you're anti-hierarchical. Congratulations, you're not a Christian. You're a modern, egalitarian, French revolutionist. People are above each other. What an idiotic thing to say. We're all just equal. You're in with Skittles and trans people now. Like, congratulations. I mean, what a demonic thing to actually say. Like, destruction of hierarchy and order and authority. There's one person and being that says that. I mean, what a bunch of hogwash, dude. What blasphemous. That's why literally you have a man-made modern religion. Traditions of men made up from principles of modernity, the French Enlightenment, everything that's anti-Christian. While you claim to be Christian. That's what, like, you're not going to gaslight us.
Episode 4 is hard to watch. I like Harris.
His character arc, like he's sort of like growth.
Still X isn't working. Do thou as wilt yet. Hogwash, yeah. Well, we're not a religion. Orthodoxy is the fullness of revelation to man. So if you think that religion is man-made, then obviously orthodoxy doesn't fit into that. It's the truth, it's the God-man, and the fullness of the revelation. It's not a book. The church came before the Bible. The church is not the Orthodox Church is not a Bible-based church. It's the church the Bible's based off of. So this guy is pretending to be a Protestant. He's not even like Protestants don't even believe that all religions are man-made. Suppose they even grant that too. Does it make it false? Like, well, if man makes something, he makes a coffee cup, it must be false, you see. You just refuted yourself. You're engaged in a, like, if everything's man-made and it's false, then what you're saying is, what you're referring to the Bible is, no, we don't strictly hold that Catholics or Protestants are Christian. Can you be 40% heretic and still be Christian? Now, you could be materially, like, you can get stuff wrong. But the institution, it's the Orthodox Church, is what those who are baptized into the body of Christ. So there is no body of Christ outside of the Orthodox Church. There's one baptism, one church. So somebody could call loosely if they pick pieces of the whole, right? But they're not technically a Christian because they're not in the body of Christ. The whole. And the whole is divine, right? It's infallible, right? Any individual could be incorrect and hold something. But the church as a whole, right? All the members together, because there is where the Holy Spirit is present. And its kataholos is infallible. It's in because it's divine. It's a divine human institution. That's what is a Christian. It's the kataholos. It's right. It's being baptized into. So despite your individual errors, no, it's not anybody who believes in their heart Jesus is Christ. Because each word implies something. What does it mean to believe? Believe what? Who is Christ? Who do you say that? Why do you think he says, who do you say that I am? Is it the same referent? Is it the same Christ that we're talking about that you're to pray to his mother? Oh, no, not that. Well, then you're not referring to the same person. It's heresy. That's what heresy means. I choose what I want. So, no, using vague words like Jesus and Christ and believe, heart, doesn't tell me anything about. Yes, we call each other Orthodox because those terms are conditioned and defined by the whole. And the whole's the truth. So if you're outside of that, yeah, there's nothing to ground that can mean anything you want it to mean. You know, you can call yourself a duck, doesn't mean that you're a duck. Jesus Christ is the church. Quit, what are you talking about? I'll just negate, we're not a religion. We're the fullness of Jesus Christ, so revealed to man, incarnationally. So it's not a religion. It's not a philosophy. It's the Lord Jesus Christ, mystically present in his fullness of his revelation. Do I concern more about that than people's stupid errors and made up stuff? Well, believe in Jesus. Yes, absolutely I do. I'm concerned more about the truth than falsehood and made up stupid stuff. And it's not a religion.
Was that Christian Mario was on Tim's channel, so shout out to Tim for having Christian Mario on talking about Zionism, patriarchy, and evangelization. So that looks like a cool chat there. FTA, did you want to say something?
All right, so I do want to say something. I want to give a shout out to Methylene Blue. I am feeling awesome. Thank you, Jay. Jay got me hooked on methylene.
Actually get him to take some. He took
Yeah,
some.
we got some, and I'm feeling really good right now too. I'm streaming through mine. We've got a bunch of goblins in that can come on, and we've got a call no man father. All you need is to believe Jesus in your heart. All religions man-made. We had some, so we're streaming yours through here, so they can come on. We had some schismatics.
Serious or are you joking?
No, I'm totally serious. Yeah.
Where is this?
So I'm doing my YouTube, and I'm throwing in the X right here. I'm streaming it.
Get them to come on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys can come on and just tell me how you should never call anybody father or teacher, and that all you need is to say the magic words, Jesus in my heart.
By the way, Leo, have you noticed there's like this expectation that each of the popes, and I think the patriarchs do it too, the EP does it too, like they go to the blue mosque and they take their shoes off and pray, and now Leo has done it. I don't know if he prayed, but he apparently takes his shoes off to walk into the holy ground of the mosque. Have you seen this?
No.
Well, you know that they've all prayed, right? Look, there he's taking his shoes off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It looks
Forgive
to
me.
me that you're clicking on your 19.
What if I started like chewing food? Like, would that
That's
be
only for me to do on my stream. You can't steal my vibe, dude.
okay?
Or chewing food loud on your stream. So yeah, so Leo took off his shoes before entering the blue mosque. That was so humble of him to do that. Wow. So spiritual. I wonder if he prays in it though. Does he actually pray, or does he just walk around in his sock feet, getting Muslim dust funk all over his socks, socky feet? Is he wearing Gucci socks? Brother, what kind of socks does the Pope wear? I think it is Gucci socks, right? Whatever gay Italian brand is like the biggest gay Italian brand's got to be what? Isn't that something? Isn't there some truth to that? Like, there's like one of these big gay designers, Versace or Gucci. Somebody makes like all the papal outfits. I think. I heard that. So Cleve is saying he didn't pray, which is interesting because Francis and John Paul II prayed in the mosque. Francis prayed in the mosque. But Leo just took off his shoes and walked around. Interesting. What's up, John? Let's see if we get some of these Protestants in here that were yapping in FDA's chat. Protestants, get it? So you're saying Prada makes the papal styles?
Yeah, and Dolce and Gabbana has
I don't.
made some stuff too.
I don't think these people are real. There's no way that people are this like look, I'm an optimistic man. I'm not a doomer. I really don't believe people are this stupid. I don't think they're actually real. I think this must
No,
be
they
some
are.
type of AI.
No, they are. I assure you. I've been out amongst the masses. They're that crazy.
Don't you?
Priests that wear, yeah. So Francis was a Prada
Yeah.
Pope.
Benedict wore Prada shoes too.
Okay, the devil wears Prada.
Yo, yeah. There you go. Nice.
Ooh, look at those fancy little red shoes. Okay. John, did you want to comment on anything other than the latest styles? John is our Vanity Fair correspondent.
I'm the pop culture correspondent. No, if I think of something, I'll chime back in.
Okay, cool. Let's see who's up next. Trevor, what's up, dude? Trevor. You boy, Trevor. Trevor, I'm mute, man. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna make t-shirts that say I'm mute, dude.
I know.
It's just fun to do it because
Yep. It was inevitable.
Neil and Kate were like, when are you gonna make t-shirts? I'm like, okay. Okay, and then Trevor just leaves.
Well, remember I mentioned years back I was gonna make vindicated shirts for you. That's another one.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, sorry about that. What's up, man? I just had a quick question. Are you guys on topic, or are you guys kind of just talking about random stuff?
We're talking about second order logic and Bayesian probability theory and how that
We'll do
type.
whatever you
Oh,
want, man.
go
What's on
ahead.
your mind?
Okay. I'm not the brightest dude, but I see some Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah. I seen the Jehovah's Witnesses the other day, and I was just asking them a couple questions, just trying to understand what they believe. And they started to go on this rant about how Orthodox and Catholics and whatnot, a lot of our what's it called, like traditions are based in like paganism, but one of the things they tried to say was they brought up like one of their sorry, dude, you caught me at a random time, but
It's okay, man. You want to come? You want to just take a break, gather your thoughts. We'll bring you right back up. What's up, man?
Jesus wasn't crucified on a cross. That's their biggest one.
Yeah, but this is a good thing to point out that like a lot of things that Jehovah's Witnesses think are, quote, pagan, they kind of have a word concept fallacy thing going on where they think that something that comes from a culture that is perhaps pagan makes all of those things pagan. So, for example, the days of the week, right? They're related, or the months, they're related to gods and deities of Rome. Or if you wear a wedding ring, that's pagan because people in Rome did it and they were pagan. This is silly, right? Because the difference between a pagan culture, which elements of the culture can be baptized, versus things that are idolatrous. So, as Orthodox, we don't want to be involved in anything that's idolatrous, but there's many, many things in pagan culture that's perfectly fine and can be baptized because things in themselves are good. There's no such thing as a thing that is inherently evil.
Except for the word father. Obviously, that's intrinsically evil and has no
Well,
sense.
according to some of these evangelicals, yeah. I remember there was a guy recently that was evangelical dude was like, call no man father. I was like, how do you keep the Ten Commandments? He's like, that's different. Okay. So it doesn't mean call no man father, right? Like you can qualify it. What's up, man? Rawraz, what's up?
Hey, I've watched a live stream of yours like last year, and I can't really find it anymore. I don't know if it's a members only video now. You were talking about the Frankfurt School and all the weirdos like Wilhelm Reich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I made that one private, yeah.
Oh, all right.
What about it?
Like it's
You were just trying to find it.
Yeah, because I thought maybe YouTube took it down because it's kind of a sensitive topic.
That's possible. Honestly, there's so many live streams I don't remember anymore. But I know that one of the ones that's public, where I talked about Wilhelm Reich, is I think the one called The Psychology of the Left. And I did get into Frankfurt School in that one. I think that one is still up, but you might not have been able to find it just because it doesn't say Frankfurt School in the title. So let's see if I can find it. For Psychology of the Left, Jay Dyer, I might pull it up. Yeah, it's these two right here do touch on that, but it also might be in the second part for members too. I don't remember. So there's The Secret Philosophy of the Left and its Technique, and The Psychology of the Left, History and Analysis. Both of those do touch on Wilhelm Reich, his role in the sexual revolution, and the Frankfurt School.
No, great. Also, I wanted to say that the Roman Catholic Church is actually very traditional and based, because they're upholding the ancient Greco-Roman tradition of having gay sex and stuff like that.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, we're overlooking this line of argumentation that there's trad butt sex. There's trad touching of butts that's being overlooked here. And in fact, there was a guy that called in defending Evelyn's bays and trad. And I was like, yeah, the bays trad version of Greco-Roman homoeroticism is just like people can't respond. They can't deal with this level of argumentation. So they're having to go towards liberal queer theory and not trad queer theory. And that's a great point. That's a joke, by the way. Ali Training, what's up, man? Guys, if you want to support the stream, you can do so through super chats. We noticed on the other night's live stream that I didn't start getting super chats until I started roasting you guys in the audience. When I started roasting you guys and calling you pores like Tom Segura, that's ironically when you guys started super chatting. So I'm going to just start roasting everybody as the pores in the chat. I'm going to go full Tom Segura, and that's when you guys start throwing in the money. That's human, like, reverse psychology, dude. That's how it works. They're like, because then what happens is they want to prove that they're not in the pores, and so they start super chatting me to prove that, no, actually, I've got extra cash, bro. Check out how much I'm going to super chat you right now. Reverse psychology.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, dog?
How you doing? All right. So, would you mind? I want to get your idea on a little bit on changing images of man, if that's possible.
Sure, yeah. We just covered it.
Yeah. So I actually got my hands on the physical copy of the book, which was kind of surprising, and I got it at my school library, which I was really, really surprised they had it. And dude, yeah, let me tell you, those things are barren. These shelves, nothing. But right now I'm graduating, and I've realized that really the big issue with school is the whole idea of nobody understands even their own worldview paradigm. And as I was just skimming through the book a little bit, I noticed that on page 142 they talked about the cultural transformation and through crisis, and then they talk about then in the next page through the conceptual revolution of science and through the concept of May's way. And it's literally that. They're literally just talking about how, it's, we're just going to change everyone's worldview in order to effect all these changes and everything. And now, kind of reading that and self-examining the past and my education, or if you would even call that education, I'm like, what the hell? I didn't really learn much. All the learning that I really got was either through me actively pursuing and trying to find the truth myself outside of school, and I was never really challenged within school, except if I try to maybe have a debate with someone, but that was sometimes just you never get anywhere because nobody wants to argue worldviews. And I just realized, I think that's my biggest critique. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think that college academia education is, for the most part, unless you're in some sort of private school or Catholic school setting that's based around the classics or classical pedagogy or classical education, like most of what you're getting. It's not that it's totally wrong or totally bad, but I was doing grad stuff about 10 years ago, and even at that time, it was already getting pretty heavy with the lib stuff, the woke stuff. It wasn't totally woke like I think it probably is now, but it was a good ways there. So I would imagine, I'll put it this way, I would say when I was there, it was probably, if I was to gauge it, 50% good education, 60% good education, 40% kind of live brainwashing. Yeah. And I would bet by now it's probably 70-30.
It's bad. It's bad. I'll give you a quick example. One time I had a debate because I was explaining to someone how it's inherently contradictory for Mamdani to be a Muslim or claim to be a Muslim and also support the Skittle stuff,
right,
all at the same time. And they were confused. And then they asked me if I had views on how it works in Christianity, and I gave them the Orthodox perspective, essentially. And I was even debating this. There was a trans person in front of me talking about this. I don't know if this was dumb or brave, but for me to do this in front of them, but all everyone was worried about, because it was me and 3 other people, all they were worried about was whether I fit their definition of homophobic, rather than trying to understand.
Yeah, they don't care about your argument, dude. It's all about it's a cult, dude. It's you're dealing with a cult. You're not dealing with people.
Yeah.
Figure out.
And I told them, I was like, guys, I gave you my definition of homophobic, and they gave me theirs, and I told them, we're at an impasse. We're not going to get anywhere until we examine each other's worldview.
Now you're spot on, dude, because look, you're trying to reason with people that have been given over to a debased mind and have forfeited their reasoning. That's the problem here. So we're not at a point where, we're going to reason these people back into the right positions, right? I'm talking about those people. There are still people that you can reason with. I'm not saying that it's total, right? There are people who are willing to learn, want to learn, but when it comes to mainstream education, being in that system, again, unless you're in Father Dionysus class, which is probably not most people, right? In terms of academia, most professors are probably pretty bad, would be my guess. You're not dealing with people who want truth. Remember, this is a key point. Many people, especially as things get worse and worse, they actually don't want what's true. They actually want to fight against what's true. That's a really crucial insight into, I think, human psychology. And, when you're young, you think, I'll reason with these people, I'll debate them into the truth. And then as you debate throughout your 20s and into your 30s, you start to realize a lot of people don't want the truth. And there's no argument that I'm going to present that's going to convince everybody. And it's not because of a lack of evidence or a failure in your argumentation. Oftentimes, it's actually because, again, remember back to the beginning of the talk today. We're talking about ransom. C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy, Volume 3. what's Professor Ransom? Excuse me, not Ransom. I said Ransom. Mark. I'm getting Ransom mixed up. Ransom is supposed to be C.S. Lewis talking about Tolkien. Ransom is based on Tolkien. Mark is the character in Volume 3 who intentionally chooses the evidence that he wants to be true. So he has in his life a bunch of evidences that point to the organization that he's a part of being basically Tavistock, being the bad guys. And he's also got evidences that he thinks, well, but they're also trying to do good things, and they told me that they're good and their intentions are good. So I'm going to choose the evidences that make me part of a good thing, and I'm going to ignore the massive amounts of evidences that make me part of a conspiracy against humanity. And when he has his conversion realization experience, he admits it wasn't a problem of evidences. I was intentionally ignoring the evidences and choosing the other counter evidences, which were minimal, that confirm my biases. So, confirmation bias. So,
You know, another thing with changing images of man and people, you know, the like Gregory Bateson with cybernetics and things like that.
by the way, Bateson has cited a bunch in the book. Go ahead.
Yeah, and yeah, I have a copy of it too. And the changing of words in general, like just for instance, the caller in here, he just said trans person. Well, like 20 years ago, nobody used that word, and the changing of descriptives and linguistics to confuse people, and then like they even touch on it in 1984 with the constant updating of like
the terms, the appropriate PC terms.
Yeah, it confuses not only like normie people, it confuses us because we, in order to be able to communicate to people, you have to adopt the words too, even though you know that's not the correct term. You would say, you know, 20, 25 years ago, hey, a man who thinks he's a woman is crazy. Now it's a trans person, you see?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the words are intimately tied into the social engineering, and that's what you understand when you get into these high-level Tavistock type people. That's exactly what's changing images of man. It's SRI, which is Tavistock connected, and that's exactly what Orwell was trying to pin down in 1984.
Yeah, because he knew that. I mean, that was going on even back then.
Right.
That they knew if they changed the way of communication and the adoption of like, oh, let's normalize something that's weird, and how do we do that? Well, we'll just change the name of it, and we'll start calling it something else that people would, in their minds, start thinking it was normal.
And I want to remind everybody, if you're interested in the second half of the analysis of changing images of man, we finally did get to it. We finally covered it. And that was the stream a couple days ago, or 1 day ago here, Thanksgiving week with Kat Von D, Dirk Paul Robbins, and the $2,000 book you're not supposed to read. That is the part 2 of changing images of man. Let's see, Jerry Art, what's up, man? Jerry, what's up? Unmute, man. Jerry Art, unmute.
So there's a Greek archdiocese near me, and considering the recent events, if they do separate from the rest of the church, the sacraments won't be
There's an excommunication of separation at that point. If you were to come to, say, a Rocourt church or whatever, they would not accept the baptism or whatever if it took place after the official removal or separation.
right. I mean, this archdiocese is in Australia. It's not in America, but I have to talk to the priest to.
Yeah, that won't matter though, because I mean, well, like you might, for example, let's say you went to a Greek church and they did not go along with a false union, you would be fine.
Okay. So how likely do you think the Greek church is to separate from the rest of the Orthodox Church?
I mean, it's hard to say. It's probably pretty likely though, because it doesn't look like. I mean, he's basically subservient to the State Department, so he's going to do whatever he's told to do. It's not. It's not about like the theology. People think this is all about who's got the right theology. Theology's secondary. It's all geopolitics.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that I agree with Jay. It's definitely likely. The question is, and we know that there's going to be an apostasy and a union. We just don't know when. So is it likely really soon? And I just want to encourage everybody. Everybody's filled with fear. I'm optimistic about. We're told prophecies by the saints, and I don't lose any sleep over this. Like, I know that it's going to be fine. Like, and that's just these things happen. We're told they're going to happen. I doubt anything is. I mean, I shouldn't say I doubt. I wouldn't say it's highly likely that this is going to happen right now. It could just be all kind of fluff working towards that. But it's nothing to lose sleep over. And people are like really worried and upset. Like, don't let it worry you. You'll be fine. Like, we have 14 different patriots, patriarchal patriots. I can give you that. Wow. And it's
they're all MAGA, probably all 14
Yeah.
patriots. Probably the best patriots out there are my favorite patriots.
yeah, it from the College of Apostles. But I mean, look, just look at it. It's like not everybody's good. Russia's definitely not going to go along with that. For Georgia, if this were to happen, it's hard to say about Antioch. Antioch is base, but what people don't realize is they're under the yoke of and threat of the CIA and State Department because they control Al Qaeda. So notice how Al Qaeda now is under control of the CIA, and in Syria, and everything's fine. They could just
CIA, like you said, CIA could say,
you're
you sure you don't want ISIS coming in on
yeah, ISIS,
your
yeah.
Antioch churches there?
Yeah, I mean ISIS, yeah. Exactly. So everybody's like, "Oh, I'm an anti-ISIS." I'm like, "Don't be so naive that." And like you said, Jay, everybody thinks whether it's politics or the church at the lowest level. Well, it's just about theology. And see, their theology, it's like, you're not, it's geopolitics first.
Yeah, for the power elite, theology is secondary. It's a tool that can be sort of attached onto the soft power, or even perhaps the hard power. If it's like if there was like an actual al-Nusra ISIS type of an attack, but they're all pretty much the same anyway. Like ISIS, Al Qaeda, Al
Yeah.
Nusra, they're all just rebrands of the same stuff, and they are all allied with Israel and the CIA. So openly, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just look up Timber Sycamore. That was all declassified recently. It's the CIA $1 billion project to overthrow Assad and put Giuliani is invited to Washington D.C. to meet with the rabbis. And
Was it you or was it Kotel that was playing that stream of that Jewish guy just basically saying like, yeah, we control like
you're talking about the Al Jazeera interview with the former head of Mossad saying,
no, he was like, he looked like a younger guy. He was like like, I don't know if he was a young rabbi or something like this, and he was,
maybe it was Kotel then.
yeah, I'll have to find it. Was actually, I'm like, they're just saying it right there. Like, why are people giving us a hard time? But like, that's crazy. But like,
well, the other thing too is, look, about this false union, like people say in the chat, most of the people who are laity that we've met over the last several years that are serious about their faith, no, but they don't want this. Nobody wants this. The only people that want this would be like corrupt ecumenist bishops and people that are in sort of political positions that are like the archons or whatever, that are putting pressure for this for their own personal reasons. So the people that actually care about the theology are absolutely not going to go along with this. So the good thing about this is that this is like a winnowing fan that will separate the wheat from the chaff. And you'll notice people that go along with it are a bunch of people who are going to want all the faking gay stuff, like the literal faking gay stuff. So it's a good thing. This is like cleaning the house. Yeah, go to Rome. Like, this will actually show like who the serious people in the picture. So now I'm not saying it's good that we don't want that. Like, well, but at the same time, it's like God's chastisements bring the division, the good division, separating the wheat from the chaff. That's a good division. So the people who are ecumenists, by the way, they act like all division is bad. Biblical, because God says all the time, I will separate the wheat from the chaff. I have a remnant that not bow beneath the veil. So it sounds to me like division, in many cases, is actually good. But these people play word games and act like, oh, division is bad. They're so divisive. Oh, Jay Dyer. Oh, Father Hears. Oh, the Metropolitans of Roquefort. They're all divisive. Father Ananias is a divisive person. Well, if you're dividing about something good, that's actually a good thing. Sometimes you need to divide. That's what these people are just retarded about. But guys,
remember too, you brought this up in your second part of the changing images of man. Is one of the key components of the future is going to be what? World Council of Churches.
Exactly. There's a whole section on World Council of Churches and the creation of a new world religion. Exactly. The new world religion is perennialism. Why perennialism? Well, that's the religion that ultimately can combine all the religions and thus overcome divisiveness. Exactly. But by the way, talk to our boy Seaton over at Chalk. I've got good news. Seaton has granted me a papal indulgence to give you guys a fast discount, 60% off. Yes, you heard me right. It is becoming a Christmas present of toxic masculinity right now unfolding on this live stream. If you head on over to chalk.com, use the promo code J60Life. That's JAY60Life. J60Life. 60% off all Chalk products. If you have a 44% recurring, cancel that. Redo your membership as J60 Life, and you get 60% off all of the Chalk products. You can't beat that. And this is a special Christmas indulgence from the Pope of Chalk, Seaton himself, only on Jay's Analysis, only on my channel do you get this special J60 Life. That's JY60 Life. Look in the show description, get that link. It has the promo code J60 Life right there. Shout out to Seaton for his massive Chalk indulgences for this Jubilee pontificate. I'm trying to figure out a Chalk Pope joke, but I can't think of it.
You should do a J60th joke. J6th?
Oh, are you trying to get my stream taken down? No.
By the way, I bet if you guys took this stuff, you'd stop being so scared and risk adverse.
People in the chat are saying the pores are winning now.
The what?
The pores, you don't know. So I made this joke on the stream the other night because there was a lot of people in the chat didn't know this. So the famous comedian Tom Segura, once he got really kind of big and popular, he started getting kind of snooty with his audience and calling them pores. And his whole audience turned on him. And so now every time he goes on a podcast, all the comments are people making fun of him and saying, we're so blessed as a member of the pores to be able to hear, Tom Segura's comedy or whatever. So now I started making jokes because they weren't commenting. They weren't super chatting. I was calling everybody the pores because they didn't super chat. So they were having to prove that they weren't pores by commenting, by super chatting. So shout out to all the pores, the Chad pores. You guys get a special 60% discount at chalk.com with 60% off all your Christmas. Drew, what's up? Unmute. Well, people in the chat are saying, how do I call in? Well, you call in through Twitter. So here's the link right here. It's in the show description. Call in there on the X-Base. What's on your mind, Drew?
I don't know if you've heard, but Ibarra is completely swagger jacking you. He has started doing impressions. Have you seen this?
Impressions of what? Cupcakes?
Well, he leaves them in the ground when he walks.
Oh, that was a pretty good thing. I thought that was funny.
cool book. It's just kind of a story about rescuing downed U.S. airmen in Yugoslavia during World War II. It's pretty interesting because it talks about the battling factions between OSS and MI6 type guys that are. It's Mihailovic, and it's about the rise to power of Tito. And it talks about certain parts in the books where it talks about OSS and MI5 guys like actually trying to kill each other because they're trying to promote communism there.
Tell me exactly. I'm writing down the title. Tell me it again.
Forgotten 500. It's more than
So I'm gonna appreciate that. Forgotten 500. Yeah, I like anything to do with OSS type stuff and MI6, so I will definitely get a hold of that. Appreciate that. If you get a better connection,
You know what's funny? I've been binging on there's a channel that just plays like nonstop James Bond. So I've been binging on that.
oh, like the films?
Yeah, although like every single one, like I'll fall asleep to it just watching, you know, the old ones, all the different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
I have a book called Esoteric Hollywood. You should check it out.
Okay, dude.
Because I write about there's a whole like 80 pages.
If you don't knock it off, I'm gonna ban you.
So here's what I was.
Start. Black culture news. I got tagged in 10,000 times.
So this, on the one hand, it's kind of unfair. I've never actually listened to Tom Segura's comedy, so I don't even know if he's funny. I'm not having, but he's more known now for this. Just spam calls are driving me crazy. He's more known for this sort of viral thing now, which is unfortunate if you're like a stand-up, how easily you could be sort of quasi-canceled. However, he didn't handle this right because he like went in a worse direction with sort of, it was probably meant to be a joke, initially calling people the pores. Like he probably meant it in a jokey way. Let's see what he says, but it backfired.
Or was it from an episode that was actually had already aired like a few weeks or a month prior or something? And people snipped this clip of us talking about wine club being for poor. It's funny. I watched my leg.
Because it sounds like a joke, right? Like, oh, you have a wine club, are you one of the pores? And then it's like everybody like trying to cancel.
Shower? Did you really? Yeah. Did you try any of it yet? No. Oh, you're just
Ooh, she's drinking liquid death.
What's funny is that it started legs. So we talked about who washes their legs and feet. I think it was only Eddie that said he did.
See, that's in the context of comedy, which is kind of unfortunate. But now, again, he probably wasn't being a douchebag about it, but like, that's kind of funny, actually.
He wasn't there that day. Clearly, he's the only one here who took the day off. Washes his legs and feet. Give a shout out to Eddie, but he wasn't there. Anyway, this clip, I was like, in the clip, I go, no, I don't think it's for, I do think it's for poor. So I think, poor people use notable people like rappers, actors, activists.
So here's the crazy thing about it. And again, I'm not saying that Tom Segura wasn't being a douchebag about it. The crazy thing is that you can now cancel people with an out of context clip of 10 seconds that goes viral, and then like all of the masses of people, they don't go double check to see if it's accurate. They just go by that. And again, like I have plenty of criticism of Trump, but they did this with Trump. Remember with his comments about him supporting the people at Charlottesville. was out of context.
You know what you should make, Jay?
Trump hates Mexicans. That's out of context. What?
Well, it's the perspicuity of clips. It's the clips just say what they mean and mean what
What
they.
they say and they say what they
Why would we need context and look further? That's the perspicuity of clips.
Well, I've had it happen a couple times. Like, so far nobody has like clipped me out of context, but I'm sure like if Lord willing, the audience continues to grow, I'm sure that's going to happen. Where they're going to find some old clip of me being, acting retarded. Look at this guy. He's gay. Look, he's gay. He makes a gay joke. He says he's gay right here. Yeah, big time black. Yeah. He was like, it's not like hot dog water. That's amazing. Super disappointing. Comedians were like, what's this all about? You don't rat out. You don't explain it. Like, you don't see what's going on. Like, you don't follow this.
12 viewers. Everybody just went over to Jay's. I'm gonna end this soon, anyways, because I gotta.
It's so weird to be able to cancel people just by a little clip that goes viral and everyone just assumes like, oh yeah, that person is evil now. But he may have been a douchebag about his Boris comment, but like everybody went like crazy with this.
Well, I made a joke. Well, they're probably gonna clip me. I made jokes about how poverty is the solution to everything. It's like you can't afford rent. Well, poverty, you won't have to worry about it. You worrying about social, political poverty. You won't be worrying about. I mean, we could go through the list of like how much things poverty actually solves, which is interesting because it's the inverse of the leftoid. Lift everybody out of poverty. I got the idea that I'm like, well, wait a minute, it's actually backwards. We wouldn't have any problems. Do you think that we'd have any problems with immigration if everybody was poor? Nobody would want to come here. Like, think about it. It's really good. Now, somebody's going to clip that, and I'm going to be out of here.
Brothers actually clipped you out of context. That's correct. They did. They took a picture of me being a metalhead on a stream, and they said I was being a transvestite because I had a wig on.
No, my favorite one is...
Dude, that's so stupid.
my favorite one from the Diamond Brothers is that the Orthodox were responsible for Pearl Harbor.
Are you being serious?
You didn't see? Unless somebody was joking. It was in our mod chat. You didn't... Hey, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for having me on, Jay.
Thank you, FT. I appreciate
All right.
it.
All right. That is it. We're back up to 19 though. Any other questions before we depart? That was kind of fun today, huh? You guys can head on over to the Jay's stream. Man, how frustrating was it dealing with that? Incorrigible. Just, you can't get through, like, just somebody who... And I love how they're like, fine if you're not willing to receive my help. Well, obviously I'm right and you're wrong. Like, that's... so diluted. Okay. Yeah, I test my patience too. If some point I realize the person is not willing to have a genuine, intelligent dialogue or learn. I mean, look, I can be wrong about stuff. Like, the person was asked, are you open to challenge? I'm like, yeah, but not if it's totally nonsensical and dilute. Like, I'll even give you I gave the guy probably way much more time than I should have to show that that you're not actually making retarded deluded. But it's like, why would you let a child or a mental ill patient or somebody who's totally deranged sit there and have a dialogue with you? And then we invited them on. They never want to come on and on live voice chat. I find that really. Then he quotes that he's not supposed to debate. While he debates that he should. These people, I would like. You'll debate in text, but not in a more human form, a more personable way. The fact that he had an alt account. Do you know I've never had an alt account? I take that back. No, I've never had an alt account. I did have an anonymous account. This was back in 2003 on Facebook or Friendster, one of the like MySpace. That's right. Thank you, sweetheart. I had my name was an anonymous name and an oh my gosh, I can't believe I just blanked on the Anaxamander. Was it Anaxamander? Anaxagoras. It's so long, I forgot. My wife found, like, after we had met and we didn't exchange numbers because I thought my friend took her out on a date. I didn't know that it wasn't really a date. And I thought it was wrong too. He got upset anyways that I ended up dating my wife after the fact that he brought her to hear the music that night that I met her. Anyways, I thought that was like taboo. It's like, well, if it was a date, you can't ask for like the number, but I really, really liked her, beautiful, intelligent. But she found me on MySpace because her detective skills. Who else would be named Anaxagoras that's friends with all those guys that was the only time that I've ever used an anonymous name. Never had an alt account, sock accounts. I think it's weird that. Plus, as clergy too, I always want to be transparent. I'm like, you get what you see. I'm not hiding anything. You were Tom on. Oh, that's understandable. If you had to create one because you get banned on Facebook. Well, was it fun? Did you like the stream? Oh my gosh, dude, this guy's sending me. He sent me it again. He's literally just spamming my Gouda from Judah is his flag. And then put this back into junk. What is wrong? Like, no self-awareness. Like, do you think this works? Like, it's like when people like the goblin schismatics come on. You think insulting me and acting the way that you do on here is going to convince me that, you know what? I probably should have a dialogue and debate them. I mean, maybe you should learn some basic kind of social etiquette. Take some social etiquette classes before you start. I mean, it's a mental illness, right? I mean, come on. I mean, it's demonic delusion, mental illness. Like, there's no other way to explain. But this guy had to actually go to Patristic Faith, look me up, look my address, because it didn't come in through just the general email. He found, I'll just spam. You know what'll convince them? I'll just spam call no man father emails at him all day. That'll win him over. By the way, how's your dating life? I'll just spam her with emails. She'll soon see that my superior rhetorical skills will just win her over. Guarantee this guy's like never dated. Or if he has, like, God help the... But I told you, they do the same thing Muslims. Remember, they'll just spam surah, like, verses. Roman Catholics will do the same. All right. Anything else before we leave? There's nothing you want to say? No questions. Oh, I wanted to show you something. Hopefully it's still up. I found this awesome picture. Okay. So, you know, I told the story 127 years ago, St. Sebastian of Jackson, who we commemorated as feast day the other day, came from the West Coast. The closest you get here by train was Boise. Then he hiked over the Great Divide. Boise from here by car ride's 8 hours. So it's a long ways. Comes, builds this church, right? Ends up being the priest. It's consecrated by St. Tikhon the Enlightener. Now, in 1963 or 64, the old church sunk because of all the mining. It went into a sinkhole and they had to tear it down. And then they moved over to Continental Drive and built the new Holy Trinity Parish. So it's the same community. And there is an individual as part of this, you know, Serbian family that posted some photos. Just amazing that somebody documented this. You got to see this. This is our parish, to the, like, where you go. The very first service before the iconostasis. Here's the altar. Here's the door out. Can you believe that? In fact, oh man, what was here? I'm gonna go here. I found a bunch of photos of that. Here's the old one. But at the new church. So that's our iconostasis. So he's just, you know, he's part of his family. He's documenting. Mountain View Cemetery is the old, with all the Serbs there. That's the old church. So that's 1940. That's before it sank, probably right before it sank into the sinkhole. Young American Serbs at the old church. Isn't that cool? Cornerstone of the old Serbian church in Butte, Montana, 1937. Here's the old parish here. 1962 with a bunch of the kids. Let's see if we can find some more. This is part of a private page where just people put old Butte stuff, but obviously he's part of the legacy of. There's the construction of the church, or the new church right there. Can you believe that? Father Al! No way. Father Al was a dear. Is that Father Al? It says from Father Al's archive, 1960. Let's see if this is it. He passed away last year.
The old church.
Isn't that amazing? Let's see if we can find some other ones. Do they have the... Okay, there's that. That's Father Al right there. I really miss him. He was so great. He was just like... He was just so positive and... You know, good job, everybody. Everybody was just so supportive that made you, like, believe, like, you could do more. And we did his funeral, and, you know, I obviously cried. But, you know, look at Father Al. He just had this beautiful smile on his face. And I'm like, yeah, I kissed him goodbye, and I said, well done, good and faithful. So you finished the race well, like, really well. That just to die with a beautiful smile on your face. So that's Father Al. Maybe I can't find any more. But anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys because I thought that was pretty cool and amazing. Maybe next time we'll show some more if I can find. But all right, guys, and let me see if there's any more super chats, questions, and then we'll depart. K Ram, $1. Hope the Christmas carol blessing. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, everyone's fit. Everyone's thin. Did you notice that? Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for your support. May the Lord bless you, give you good strength. Until next time, God bless all of you. Bye-bye.